Good evening and welcome to AAA Plus M. I'm August and you have Miss Anitra, Miss Andrea, and Miss M, also known as Momo. Tonight we have a number of topics that we're going to hit you with, especially breaking news on Mitch McConnell, and not to mention what's the latest drift. But before we get started, ladies, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
I'm glad you joined us.
bring
Ah,
friends next time. We'll have a party.
that sounds like a plan. But with that, you know what? I did tell you about travel. But before we go to Miss Anitra, I want to hit you off with this topic real quick because I think you guys need to know.
Airline rules in 2026 are rewriting the flight playbook, and you won't believe what's getting kicked out of carry ons. Starting next summer, major airlines are slashing baggage allowances and banning some popular carry on items entirely. Delta's even rolling out a solo traveler surcharge. That means extra fees if you're flying alone. Honestly, this caught me off guard. After hundreds of flights, I thought I knew how this all worked. Security procedures are tightening too. New TSA rules mean some airlines won't allow power banks in carry ons anymore, and tougher screenings will add precious minutes to every line. You could find yourself stuck at the gate, scrambling to rebook on limited US flights because of new restrictions. Plus, forget about standing up mid flight. Crews are cracking down harder than ever. Honestly, I'd go back just for the hassle free travel we used to have. But if you want to avoid surprises, start lightening your bag and brace for these new fees. Would you pay extra just to skip flying solo? The full impact of these changes is just starting to hit, and it's only the beginning.
How much more they want to charge us? How much more?
That didn't
But
even to fly single.
yes, to fly single, that's why you have to stay tuned because we will be talking about it more. But Anitra, over to you with your segment.
Hey, so speaking of travel and new rules, do you guys remember last summer and in August, last August, a year ago, that they started doing these maybe pay to come get your visa things. I call it a visa bond, where if you're from certain countries, you have to pay a certain amount to even get a visa and have to meet, and it's based on the person who's interviewing you, no matter if you're on top of all the other requirements. So guess what, those rules are now permanent, and I want to show this video about that, and then we'll come back on the other side and I'm going to ask a few questions.
The United States is making its visa bond program permanent, introducing a new requirement that could significantly increase the cost of obtaining certain visitor visas for applicants from dozens of countries. According to a notice issued by the U.S. State Department, consular officers will now have the authority to require eligible applicants to post a visa bond of up to $20,000 before a visa is issued. The policy applies to B1 and B2 visas, which are commonly used for business and tourism travel to the United States. The rule follows a pilot program launched in 2025, under which visa applicants from selected countries could be asked to post bonds ranging from $5,000 to $15,000. Under the new permanent system, the $5,000 option has been removed, while the maximum bond has been increased to $20,000. The State Department says the pilot program demonstrated that visa bonds are an effective tool for improving compliance among visa holders and reducing the number of people who overstay their visas. The final rule is scheduled to take effect on August 3rd, following its publication in the Federal Register. The program applies to citizens of 50 countries, with 30 of those nations located in Africa. However, not every applicant from those countries will automatically be required to pay a bond. Instead, consular officers will determine on a case-by-case basis whether a bond should be imposed as a condition for issuing the visa. The Trump administration says the measure is part of its broader effort to strengthen immigration enforcement and improve compliance with U.S. immigration laws. Officials argue that the policy targets visa overstays rather than legitimate travel. But the move has drawn criticism from immigration and civil rights advocates. Critics argue that requiring bonds of up to $20,000 could discourage genuine business travelers and tourists from visiting the U.S. They also say that the measure makes legal immigration more expensive and could disproportionately affect applicants from developing countries. The visa bond program comes alongside a series of other immigration measures introduced by the Trump administration, including higher visa-related fees and expanded social media screening for certain applicants. Donald Trump has defended the administration's immigration policies as necessary to protect national security and reduce illegal immigration. The latest rule marks another significant shift in U.S. immigration policy, reinforcing stricter entry requirements while adding a substantial financial hurdle for eligible applicants seeking temporary travel to the United States. With Aryan Kumar, Bureau Report, India Today Global.
So, there you go. And more than 30 other countries are in Africa. I wonder what that has to do with it. What do y'all think about that? I understand that we have to have some parameters. I'm not going to argue that. My issue is the person that I'm sitting there with, they might be having a bad day. They may not like the way I look or like the, think I'm not coming back. So now my bond is $20,000 and I just want to come over and visit my mama or my sister. I think it's troubling in the sense of this. I don't like this whole pay for play kind of thing anyway, but it's business and, recreation. So I don't, and it's only certain countries. India's not been barred yet. Certain countries that should be barred aren't barred yet. But just whenever he gets mad, he can just say, "Well, that one's included." And so I want to know what all of you think about this, and if you think it's race based.
Well, I think it's race based, especially if 30 of the countries are in Africa. And why? Why? I mean, when do you collect the money? You collect the money when you apply for the visa, and do you get the money when you're returning back to Africa?
Yes, as long as you, but you got to have the money, and it's USD. It's not like the Naira or the, whatever. And there's only 54, I believe, countries in Africa. So 30 is a lot. I'm gonna
It
say
is a
that.
lot.
And so what you would do is if they tell you have to pay, and they could give you anywhere from, I guess it's 10,000. Let's say the $5,000 option is gone, or 20 up to 20,000. So what you would do is if you could have the money, you would give that money to when they tell you to a Visa bondsman, and they have a way you're supposed to do it at a certain time. Once you place that and they say you can get it, you have 3 months to use it. And then when you go to wherever you go, it used to like continue for a long time. Maybe 10 years you could use it on and off, but now it's only one time only, and you have to reapply every time and do it again. And if you overstay your visa, then they take your money.
And are they collecting interest on the visa money?
Not well, they probably have it in our bank somewhere. I'm sure it is. It's not just sitting somewhere, but I don't know all the ins and outs of that. I just think the point is to keep brown people and low and poor people out. Not even poor, just regular people out. The one to just come over and see. Everybody doesn't stay. But it's targeted at brown countries, and I'm sick of it. It's so blatant, it's disrespectful. And it depends on who he's playing with. And I'm sure he's got, like I said, he don't have India on there now, but they're coming, I guarantee.
And so it's going to surprise them when they have the money, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna mess them up. It is gonna mess them up if they got the money. Yes, ma'am. I just feel like it's another downhill decline. And I understand, like I said, you have to have parameters. You want to check this. You want to do extended webs, internet searches. Make sure somebody's not going to harm us or somebody or themselves. Join something. If you can look into that, I have no problem with that. But there has to be parameters on that. And again, America is a melting pot. It's supposed to be here for this. So to block it and make it hard for people that make it so special is a bunch of BS, in my opinion. Um, I hope that the people who need to be here and want to be here can come and see us.
Yeah. Well, it's targeted. It's obvious who they're trying to make it more difficult to enter the United States and who they will welcome in with open arms. Right. We've seen that already. I'm hoping that once this regime is gone and it's done with, and we have a government more focused on the people, more focused on what America was supposed to be, which is a melting pot, you know, things will get back to normal, I hope.
Well, and I was thinking, when
We
when
have to
his
keep.
family came over to this country, they had open borders. So it's funny how when you came, it's open borders, but when somebody else wants to come and make a better life for themselves, and again, that's what our country was all about, making a better life for them and their families and their children and their children's children. And yet, but we're going to charge you 40, $60,000, and that's just ridiculous. And it already Canada
And then I think it's per person.
boycotting. Yeah, I bet you it is. And Canada's boycotting us. Norway doesn't want to come over here. So these white countries that he is interested in, they don't even want to come here. They see what's going on. Nobody wants to go back to a country where you're trying to reenact slavery.
It just makes me go realize even further that he and this regime, they don't want anybody that doesn't look like them around, and they keep trying. But so we got to get power back. That's the main thing. We got to vote. Got to rock your vote. Sign up. Get in there. Go to the polls because we got to take power back so we can change this because this is crazy.
Well, I think
But
all the
I
brown
wanted to
and
share
black
that with
people.
everybody.
But again, I didn't hear that.
I was just saying I wanted to share that with everybody, and I'd like for y'all to tell us what you think about it.
Well, I was thinking that brown and black people should have as many babies as they can in the United States. Just keep them coming. We'll just make this
Well,
whole country, we'll keep it brown and black for them.
I'll
Well, with
babysit.
that said, hey, Jazzy Renee, how are you? We've been missing you. Hey, Jamie, so
Yeah.
glad you're on board. Hello, Connie. We got to shout you out. Now, I know we got 4 likes and we have 7 people on. So make sure you check yourself and hit that thumbs up for us. We need it in order for us to stay viable. So glad to see you, Democracy. Hello, sir. Good to see you in the house. With that said, I want to give you another travel tip on the other side of this, and we can definitely comment.
Do not be one of those people traveling this summer that's doing it wrong, because in 2026 there are so many changes and so many things you need to do differently to protect your summer plans. I'm going to go through this quickly. Some of my top summer travel tips you can use right now, so you might want to save. I've been to more than 68 countries with my travel therapy TV show as an Emmy award-winning journalist, and I'm here daily answering your travel questions and sharing my travel tips. The first thing people are doing wrong for summer travel is a lot of times you wait until maybe a month before your trip to see if the best prices on the airlines. Wrong. Right now, because of the surging gas prices, if you know where you're going, you want to get your tickets sooner or later. If you want to price the best airfare, you can use an app like Google Flights, and you can get flight alerts sent to you if the prices drop. But again, this summer's different. Do not wait too long because of gas prices. If you're trying to save, think about flying off-peak times. So think about flying on a Tuesday, coming back on a Saturday instead of that traditional Sunday or Monday where prices can be 50 to 70% higher. Also, with more people traveling during the summer and prices skyrocketing, think of those off the beaten path hidden gem destinations where you can get better deals. It's going to be less crowded. And if you're going to the UK this summer, you need a special travel waiver to get in. Your passport alone will not work anymore. Let me know if you want more on that. I've done videos, but I can answer your questions here. And if you're traveling to Europe this summer, plan extra time because you have to get an EES at the airport, your biometrics given for 29 countries in Europe to get in. And a summer travel tip you don't want to miss is make sure your carry-on still fits, because new regulations and requirements airlines around the world are enforcing that your wheels and handles are now included in the size of the bag. Let me know your airline. I'll let you know the sizes. It's changing very fast, but you don't want your bag gate checked. You could be fined $100 to $150. I'm here answering your travel questions, and I'm giving travel tips for summer travel 2026.
Thank you.
I
Good
want to know who got
info.
all this money to keep buying new luggage.
Well, new luggage, I find people probably gonna stay home. They're gonna like, okay, I can't go. That's too
And you
expensive.
can't take a power bank. A power bank is made, if they take that away, that's what we have it for, and it can't go in the It can't go in the checked luggage. So
That's
you telling
right.
me I can't have my? What's the purpose? I mean, I understand, but
And wasn't
then
that
they
the
need to quit
latest
making them with
luggage?
lithium ion.
Wasn't that the latest luggage? The ones with the built-in, where you can charge it and do this and your cup
Hmm.
holder and
Some of them you can ride on. I'm trying to get me one of them.
y- your wheelchair.
You can just straddle it and then just ride, get your cup on the back. I done seen people on them. I'm like, I want one of them, but I don't want to splurge. It's just too many changes. You can't keep up with the fluid and the liquid. And I mean, what? I remember when I used to walk out to the tarmac, TWA. We walk right up there, go in the cockpit, have some peanuts. Somebody had a cigarette. We rolled out, and you got a
Yeah.
meal. Yeah, like asparagus and stuff on your
It
meal.
was funny to me now that I think
A little
about when we
paper.
sit in the back of the plane smoking cigarettes, gonna blow the plane up.
It's crazy that they used to do that. It's just everything is changing so much and so fast, and then other countries don't even want us coming in there without being checked. So we sus now. We wasn't never sus before.
Well,
I know.
Probably should have been, but
things changed
still.
so drastically after 9/11, and then, unfortunately, with this change in administration that we have now, a lot of those changes being are going towards us when Americans travel.
Yes.
Americans used to be able to travel much more freely than we can now.
Well, I
What
think they
kills me
say
is Marco Rubio.
I can't hear you,
Go ahead.
Anitra. I think when when we don't trust our fellow Americans, and that's what they're looking at. Other countries don't trust us. We don't trust them ourselves.
So, viewers in the comments, hey, I don't see anybody commenting. I'm pretty sure you guys got vacation plans. Please let us know exactly what you're thinking in regards to the new rules that are going out there. We will be covering it a little. Oh, okay. Democracy came back with. All right. Let's see. I guess it's toward Miss Andrea. What's that? Miss A?
I'm trying to get to them.
Oh,
Hi, Ms. Andrea. Thank you for always speaking the election truth about 2024.
Well, thank you, DJ. Anytime, and I always like seeing your face and talking with you, and listening to you, because when you talk, we do listen. It's like E.F. Hutton and Don said that the other day. It's like E.F. Hutton and talk. What you got to say? Because you always got something good to say. That's what we
absolutely.
love.
Especially when you bring everybody down to the front.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just call us out and keep us honest. That sounds like a plan. With that said, you know what time it is. And if you don't, we're doing it early this time.
Oh.
It is history time with Miss Monique. She has something special for you for the month of August.
Yes. This month, I decided I'm going to concentrate on food. So we're going to be globe trotting. We started off last week. We were talking about the origins, really, of soul food. The origins on the slave plantations, and the people, of course, had to be very creative with the meager rations that they were given, and they created a whole genre of food now that is very, very popular, especially in the South. So today we're going abroad. I decided that we're going to talk a little bit about Italian food today. And the Italian food evolved through ancient Rome, Arab rule in Sicily, and the arrival of New World tomatoes were very key to a lot of the ingredients there. And there's a huge difference between northern and southern Italy as well. The ancient origins, though, are mostly Roman. There were a lot of grains and porridge. They were big on spices back then, even back then. So the food was always really tasty. I have a video that's going to break things down a little bit for you in all the different regions. So yummy. I love Italian food.
That looks delicious. That looks delicious, Monique. Now, when can I
Doesn't it?
have some?
And believe it or not, like pizza is like one of the most popular things that to come out of Italy. And believe it or not, it was peasant food. It was created because they didn't always have yeast for their bread, so their bread didn't always rise. And they put a lot of like leftover veggies and meat and stuff like that and threw it on some flat bread. And that's how it came about. But pizza was actually peasant food to begin with. Yeah.
Now, have you ever
So
had
people are
pineapple
top.
on pizza?
I don't like pineapple on my pizza.
Okay, I thought it was
I've
just
had it.
me.
That's not my favorite.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
History,
Boom, boom.
because for most of the last 2,000 years, Italy wasn't actually one unified country at all. It was a patchwork of separate kingdoms, city-states, and republics, each with wildly different climates, ingredients, and culinary traditions.
Uh-oh.
Well, it looks delicious. And I had some it don't look like fazoli's though, I'm gonna tell you that. My spaghetti is
Today,
what's up.
we're traveling the length of the country, region
I like antipasta salad.
so
I do.
wildly different, depending on where you are. Welcome back to Food Genesis. Let's get into it. We start in the north, in Piedmont.
Uh-oh. What is happening? We're
Somebody
having some
got some
technical
gremlins.
difficulties, I believe.
Cousins,
Some of the
But
But
food.
more famously, it's home to white truffles from the town of Alba,
Let's see what
considered
happens.
among the
Most valuable culinary ingredient on earth.
I'm not sure what's
The thing
going
about
on,
Italian
but
food
it's
is
not
there's
coming
so
up. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Anitra.
So we could just talk about it because I tell you, it may start out as peasant food, but people eat pizza all over the place, and and big celebrities have the stone pizza ovens put out in their patios, and it's something we come around and enjoy. You think of pizza when you think of a good time,
Right.
going to pizza
Right.
parties or celebrate, and so it's interesting how, again, these are part of the traditions and the foods that was brought from other countries. And,
Yes.
and now we enjoy together. We mix them and we put our little extra little things on them and throw it next to fish in some places. I'm against that, but that's a whole nother story.
most
Spaghetti
valuable
and fish,
culinary
that whole thing.
ingredients on earth, along with bagna cauda, a warm dip made from garlic, anchovies, and olive oil, traditionally shared communally at the table during the region's cold winters. Piedmont is also the origin of vermouth, invented in Turin in the late 1700s, and the birthplace of the slow food movement, founded here in 1986, specifically as a protest against the opening of a McDonald's near the historic Spanish Steps in Rome. Just east, Lombardy, home to Milan, built its cuisine around rice cultivation in the region's flooded plains, rather than the pasta traditions more common further south. Risotto alla Milanese, colored a deep golden yellow with saffron, is the region's signature dish, alongside ossobuco, braised veal shanks slow-cooked until the marrow inside turns soft enough to eat with a small spoon. Lombardy is also where Gorgonzola cheese originated, named after a small town near Milan where the specific mold cultures needed for its blue veining were first cultivated. Venice and the surrounding Veneto region built an entirely different culinary identity around its centuries of maritime trade dominance. Cicchetti, small bar snacks similar in spirit to Spanish tapas, reflect Venice's history as a trading hub where sailors and merchants needed quick, portable food between shipments. Risi e bisi, a thick rice and pea soup, and bacala mantecato, whipped salt cod, both reflect the region's deep historical reliance on preserved fish, since fresh seafood couldn't always reach the interior mainland before refrigeration existed. Emilia-Romagna, often considered the true culinary heart of Italy by food historians, gave the world Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, aged for a minimum of 12 months, in wheels that can weigh up to 80 pounds. and traditional balsamic vinegar from Modena, aged in a series of progressively smaller wooden barrels for a minimum of 12 years before it can legally carry that name. This region is also the birthplace of tagliatelle al ragù, the dish most of the English-speaking world knows incorrectly as spaghetti bolognese, a combination that would raise eyebrows among locals, since ragù is traditionally served with wide, flat tagliatelle noodles, not spaghetti at all. Tuscany's cuisine grew out of a very different history, one rooted in rural poverty and necessity, rather than trade wealth. Ribollita, a thick bread and vegetable soup, was designed specifically to use up stale bread rather than waste it, while bistecca alla fiorentina, a massive T-bone steak traditionally sourced from the region's Chianina cattle, one of the oldest cattle breeds in the world, reflects Tuscany's long tradition of cattle farming across its rolling hills. Rome and the surrounding Lazio region built their food culture around simplicity and a handful of humble ingredients transformed through precise technique. Cacio e pepe, made with only 3 ingredients, pasta, pecorino cheese, and black pepper, is deceptively difficult to make correctly, requiring exact starch and temperature control to avoid the cheese clumping into an inedible mess rather than a smooth sauce. Carbonara, another Roman classic, traditionally uses guanciale, cured pork cheek, rather than the bacon most non-Italian recipes substitute, and contains no cream at all, despite that ingredient appearing in nearly every non-Italian version of the dish sold abroad. Naples and the surrounding Campania region gave the world what many consider the single most influential culinary export in Italian history: pizza. Neapolitan pizza, granted protected status by the EU, must follow strict rules to legally carry the name, including hand-stretched dough, a wood-fired oven reaching specific temperatures, and San Marzano tomatoes, grown in the volcanic soil surrounding Mount Vesuvius. Campania is also home to mozzarella di bufala, made from water buffalo milk rather than cow's milk, giving it a noticeably softer texture and tangier flavor than standard mozzarella. Further south, Puglia, forming the heel of Italy's boot, built its cuisine around what its rocky, sun-baked terrain could actually produce reliably. Orecchiette, small ear-shaped pasta, is traditionally hand-shaped by pressing dough with a thumb, and the region produces more olive oil than almost anywhere else in the country, thanks to ancient olive groves, some containing trees estimated to be over 1,000 years old. Sicily's cuisine reflects perhaps the most complex layered history of any Italian region, shaped by waves of Greek, Arab, Norman, and Spanish rule over the centuries, each leaving a distinct culinary fingerprint behind. Arancini, fried rice balls stuffed with ragu or cheese, likely descend from rice dishes introduced during Arab rule of the island in the 9th century. Cannoli, the fried pastry tubes filled with sweetened ricotta, and cassata, a layered sponge cake, both reflect a distinctly Arab-influenced love of sugar and elaborate pastry work rarely found further north on the mainland. Sardinia, isolated by its island geography, developed one of the most distinct food cultures in all of Italy, one that in some ways barely resembles mainland Italian cooking at all. Pane carasau, an extremely thin, crisp flatbread, originally created to survive long periods without spoiling for shepherds traveling with their flocks, remains a defining regional staple. Sardinia is also home to collurgiones, a distinctive stuffed pasta sealed with an intricate braided edge, and to some of the highest concentrations of centenarians on the planet, a phenomenon researchers have partly linked to the island's traditionally simple, plant-heavy diet. Liguria, the narrow coastal region surrounding Genoa, gave the culinary world basil pesto, traditionally made by hand in a marble mortar with a wooden pestle, using a specific small-leafed basil variety that grows uniquely well in the region's coastal microclimate. Focaccia also originates here, its characteristic dimples traditionally pressed by hand to hold pools of olive oil during baking. So here's the pattern running through every single region on this list. Italian cuisine was never actually one cuisine at all. Its 20 separate culinary histories, shaped by mountains that isolated communities from each other, coastlines that opened some regions to trade while leaving others behind, and centuries of foreign rule that left permanent culinary fingerprints in some places and none at all in others. What gets marketed abroad as simply Italian food is really an entire continent's worth of separate traditions, accidentally unified under a single flag less than 200 years ago. If this changed the way you'll look at your next plate of pasta, let us know in the comments which region's cuisine surprised you the most. And don't forget to subscribe to Food Genesis, because next time, we're breaking down every regional cuisine across Mexico.
Yeah,
I'm hungry.
so I know, right? I love food. I love cooking food. I love eating food. I love everything about food. And I love learning the history of foods as well. And you have a tendency to think of like one thing with Italian food, right? You think about pizza, you think about pasta, but you don't realize that in certain regions, seafood is king. You know, there's just so many different foods and food types, you know, in Italy. And depending on whether you're in northern Italy or southern Italy, it changes that way too. But yeah, got my mouth watering.
I love the
Now,
fact
have
that I
you
found out they
noticed?
use that jowl bacon. That's that stuff right there.
Yeah.
Have you noticed they rely more on presentation than amount? You know, you go to American restaurants and it's slop. It look like slop. But you go to Italy or even go to Mexico and it's well presented.
Well, you know,
It looks appetizing on your plate.
yeah. And, you know, in Europe, a lot of times they will have like 5 and 6 course meals. And so they don't pile a bunch of food on their plate. You know, you have several different courses and they're all small. So you can enjoy different things like they call from soup to nuts, right? It's like
Yeah.
everything, the appetizers all the way to dessert. And they have a tendency to eat that way in Europe, period. They have smaller portions, but they have more courses. So you're able to enjoy your food a little bit better. We have such huge portions here in America.
Yeah. Now, who
I was
came up
in
with the term
Boston.
tapas? If anybody knows the answer. Who came up with the term tapas?
I do not know. That I don't know. I'd have to research that and see where that is. But here's another video that's just showing a little breakdown of the different regions and some of the dishes that are in those regions.
Okay.
Number 8, chickpea. Number 7, spaghetti carbonara. Number 6, focaccia. Number 5, panzanella. Number 4, gelato. Number 3, ossobuco Milanese. Number 2, lasagna. Number 1, pizza napolitana. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So in case you guys don't know this by now, food is my favorite thing. I love cooking it. I love
You're
eating
gonna
it.
have
I
your
love everything about
pasta.
food. So.
They're coming to first.
Ugh.
I get to Boston. I'm having this fun. I was at Terra on Italy. That's what it's called. And they're
Right,
like, have your
right.
antipasta first. We're gonna have this. I'm like, I have the spaghetti, and then he brought me out some real spaghetti, you know, with the stuff, with the sauce. What have I ordered? Then they kept bringing me wine. Before I knew it, I was half in the bag.
Yeah, a lot of
But-
times, like especially overseas in Europe, you'll get like a different aperitif or some sort of liqueur or something like that with each what do they call them? The courses. With each of the courses,
yeah.
you know, they'll bring you something different. So it's quite an experience, the way that they enjoy their food, especially over in Europe. You know, it's laid back. They take their time. They enjoy it. The presentation is everything. And it's just, meals are meant to bring people together and to just enjoy the food, enjoy the company. It's not like in America. So many times we're scarfing down food really quickly because we got to get to this next thing or that next thing. They're very laid back and relaxed, and they really enjoy their meal times over in Europe.
And I like in Spain that they eat late, 10 o'clock-ish.
Yes.
Like I'm going
And they're
to
still
dinner.
not fat.
Well, restaurants in Europe doesn't open until like 7.
Mhm.
So
love it.
that's when their meal time is. But with that said, great segment. Thanks, Momo, for that.
Bellissimo.
And I hope everyone is definitely hungry. Let's go ahead and go to our next topic, which is by this gem. Go ahead, Miss Andrea. What's your topic?
Well, today I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry to go from something so appetizing to something that might turn your stomach. And my topic today is I wanted to talk about all this money in in the politics, that people can give $1 million in a lottery or something and then elect a president, and look what we came up with. So right now, Elon Musk did not literally buy the US presidency, is that what they say, but became the largest political donor in history by spending between 260 million and 288 million to help elect Donald Trump. I'd like to let you listen to this video.
Republican lawmakers this November, changing his plan to form a new third party and just staying with the GOP. And he's giving more money locally here in Texas. Stay tuned to see who's getting what. But first, according to the New York Times, Musk's super PAC, America.
I'm going to stop this video and start it again.
Okay.
We're having technical. I'll play another one for you.
Concerned about the legality of the things that they have done under this ideology that they can get away with whatever they want to.
See, and that's what they're trying to do, get away with everything. They don't want to just think about the fact that they could use what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that they don't want to go out and say, I want to support Americans, I want to lower food prices, I want to lower gas prices. They said we want to rig the election. We don't, like we are just saying a minute ago, they want to make it more costly for somebody to come into the country, to lead a country. There's always some money in it other ways that should not necessarily be in it.
Yes, ma'am.
Today's
control of the
politics.
House and Senate this midterm election cycle.
They've been having trouble with StreamYard. I don't know
Before
if
show,
anybody
Elon
knows.
Musk is ready to jump back
And
in
we
with
get
a plan
that's
to
why I sound
spend big.
disappointed.
The National News Desk's Kayla Gaskins joining us live from Capitol Hill.
I'm Kayla Gaskins reporting for the National News Desk, America's News Now.
I find it quite unusual that Elon Musk came from South Africa and amassed $1 trillion, over $1 trillion. Yet they won't put money into education for children here. They won't put money into food banks. They're taking money. They don't want to vaccinate children. They don't want to help elderly. We don't want to have places for senior citizens to stay in their older years. But in 2024, Musk generated heavy media attention and legal scrutiny by awarding that $1 million daily checks to people that were voting. And that's not right. If Donald monitor our comings and goings. And look at Chris Cuomo. I haven't seen him for a while.
out there,
This
right?
Cuomo looked like he's tired
There
too.
is an unelected man
Yeah,
that
that was
they
Chris.
should be investigating. He has definitely made divisive decisions that hurt us at a time where we needed much better than he gave us. I don't like saying this, but there are even questions about how he got here
See?
and the access he had to power and what he did with it and who he helped and how he filled his own pockets and how it even affected our elections. It's all real. And nobody voted for him. But it ain't Tony Fauci. It's Elon Musk.
That's
You get
right.
$1 billion contract, you turn around the next day to say you're going to give over $100 million to the Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
How's that not a quid pro quo? He's already being prosecuted and looked at for what he did with elections. Why?
To different people that pay this amount of money go up and down, up and down. Then we have the Tesla burning up. Did you know that electric cars take more than 30 days to burn out if they catch fire? This whole country is something's wrong. And you said I'm currently in the throes of organizing a presentation to be able to join y'all on Our Voice. We'll be in touch, but we appreciate that, DJ. We'll be looking forward to it. And hopefully when you come back, you'll be explaining to us how Elon Musk is able to do all of this and then get people to come out and vote for Donald Trump. And
He can do it because he's got money and power and the president. That's all you need. That's perfect recipe. Then he went in there and cooked the books.
But then the people that he gave the money to, they not helping nobody else. Nobody is helping nobody else. So no, somebody go to the grocery store and they still can't buy groceries. And
the ongoing cyclospora outbreak. The CDC said today that the outbreak of the intestinal illness has spread to 6 additional states, bringing the total to 15 states. Separately, Chipotle says it's removed jalapenos from some of its locations as health officials investigate a possible link to a salmonella outbreak. In Washington, D.C.
With that said, please keep in mind, she was in his first cabinet, okay? So this is her second go around. Not sure what to make of it. We just need to sit back and see. Hopefully she's able to get people healthy again. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that she has the freedom and the latitude to actually do the job. There are so many people that they're putting in place that are just puppets for the administration, and they don't seem to be doing their jobs.
Absolutely. Anitra, you were saying?
RFK, as long as he stays.
Hopefully he stay in his lane. But also from August death.
American people in upholding the rule of law and the Constitution. Mr. Blanche has aided and abetted the most corrupt administration in the history of the United States. Prior to this hearing, Mr. Blanche told me he, quote, made a mistake, close quote, by creating the January 6th slush fund. Where did he say it? In my office with witnesses, my staff, to what I'm about to say. When I asked him about this under oath, Mr. Blanche falsely claimed that he never made this statement. That's not true. Mr. Blanche's willingness to casually lie under oath about a statement he made in a room full of witnesses shows the lengths he will go to avoid offending President Trump. Why doesn't he want to concede he made a mistake? We all do that from time to time, right? No. Manly MAGA leaders do not admit a mistake or use the word sorry.
Very interesting. Very interesting. And watch, they playing in our faces. I said the title, Focus. They're doing it again because you know they're going to write him in. Talk back to me, panel. All right.
I guess it's hard to talk about because, we're watching all the corruption. It's just a lot of corruption going on. Cover-ups, corruptions, everything.
Absolutely. You're breaking up, Anitra. Not sure what you're trying to say. However, I'm going to switch gears again because from my desk, the BS continues.
Of turnover within the Navy in some of our most important and powerful ships. Donald Trump and Hegseth tried to fire this commander of a nuclear submarine quietly. They cited, quote, maintenance issues. But we need to really drill down what is happening here on this nuclear submarine. What happened to the top U.S. Navy commander who was mysteriously killed in the Arabian Sea? We also know that the former Secretary of the Navy, John Phelan,
also was hurt. So, guys, they are up to really, really no good. So he's firing people. He need every soul he can get right now in the middle of the madness that's going on. Are you guys aware of it? Have you heard of it? No.
No, because it's being a secret. Everything's a secret.
Everything.
Epstein's a secret.
Everything has been a secret. Well,
And
even
they
more
messing with all
secrets.
the technology too. I believe that's what's happening because it happened on Don's show today too.
Well, I need you guys to check this one out because it is serious.
WNET thanks Eve Dorfson. Her generous support helps us bring you the public media programs you love. We're deeply...
Let's see if we could go forward from that. Anyway, is Monique still around? Because she brought this to our attention that Donald Trump is definitely doing the, what was it again? Truth Social with selling memberships.
Yes.
Yes.
Preemptively. And you get the first tweets or truth.
It's $100,000.
Lies.
You get to know it
It's
20
insider
minutes,
trading.
whatever, before everybody else knows it.
Yeah, and there are already 5 investment firms that are signed up for this. So basically, right in our faces, they're kind of doing insider trading. They're getting information before anybody else. And they're just playing in our faces with so much stuff. And there needs to be...
Lawrence O'Donnell said, it's inside trading. And before, that's what Martha Stewart went to prison for.
I was just going to say Martha Stewart went for that.
Absolutely. Martha Stewart did. Yeah, she did. She did go to jail for inside trading. So let's go over to the latest one. And I really need you guys to hear. So I pray technical difficulties don't happen in this one because...
Right now, Central Florida is seeing an increase in leprosy cases, also known as Hansen's disease.
Researchers say it might be an endemic in the state, but it's not as common or as easily spread as we might think. Last year's Brevard County reporter Megan Moriarty explains why health experts say you should not panic.
A disease dating back 4,000 years is making its way through Central Florida. But what we think we know about leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease, could make it seem scarier than it actually is.
It is completely curable with the modern medication therapies that we have.
According to the CDC, leprosy was once this feared disease thought of as highly contagious and deadly, but it's actually hard to spread. Dr. Nashad Amin, Chief Medical Officer at Health First Palm Bay Hospital, explained how one might get it.
It's spread primarily by respiratory droplets, such as sneezing, coughing, with prolonged exposure. So say if somebody is infected just by sitting with them, shaking their hands, sharing meals, does not confer transmission of the infection. It is prolonged household for many months to years.
But there's also one other way to contract the disease, through armadillos. Dr. Amin says to keep your distance from them, don't feed them, and don't try to relocate them. Call animal control instead. He says armadillo-contaminated soil can also be a hazard, so wear gloves while gardening. So far this year, there's been 17 cases of Hansen's disease statewide, with just one in most of our counties except for Volusia, according to the Florida Department of Health. Last year, there were 36 cases in Florida, 6 in Brevard County, 2 in Lake, 8 in Volusia, and 1 or no cases in our other counties. In 2024, there were 20 cases statewide, so based on the data, cases are rising.
We know Florida, as per CDC, that it may be an endemic, low-level endemic area, but that does not mean that there is an outbreak.
Covering Brevard County, Megan Moriarty, West 2 News.
That's all we need is to bring back Bible ailments.
Could
You know
you
what I'm saying?
imagine that? Okay.
I mean, I knew it was here, but we don't need to be bringing back stuff from the Bible. It's like saying I'm going swimming, and the guy said, "I don't swim anymore. I almost drowned." I said, "Well, where were you?" He said, "In the Red Sea." I said, "From the Bible?" I said, "I'm talking about somebody's pool." You know, it's crazy.
It really, really is. It makes you
A
go,
big difference.
what is going? How come all of these diseases are just like rearing their ugly head from
Florida.
measles to, to now this and so many others that have been brought up. Just watch yourself. I bring it up because you just never know. You get on a flight, you on a flight for a couple of hours. He said it's transferred through sneezing and, like, come
So it
on,
says droplets. So think
droplet
tuberculosis.
and coughing. And people like to cough
Bingo.
and do not cover their mouth. So keep that in
Or
mind.
wash their hands.
Or wash their hands. Thank you. And the last thing from August desk that really want you to know about before we go to Miss Andrea's funny, you need to be on alert because guess what? Guess who they found?
So Republican Senator Mitch McConnell is back home almost 2 months after he went to the hospital and then to a rehab center. He says he will continue intensive physical therapy at home and will be in contact with his staff and fellow senators. McConnell says he went to the hospital in June after a fall, did not break any bones or have a concussion, a heart attack, or a stroke. And we wish him well as he continues his recovery.
So all that he couldn't let people know, hey, I'm okay. If you didn't break anything, you didn't have any respiratory. What happened to your mouth? Huh?
That's what I, has there been an actual sighting?
Well,
I'm gonna
he
need him
came
to show
out.
proof of life.
Well, they said he came out. And it was kind of funny because if we didn't hear anything, this is, I was going to definitely treat y'all to this one because we thought he wasn't around. But he is supposedly. You guys want proof of life? To me, if you're gone, you're gone. All right? But here we go.
I am the great and formerly powerful Mitch. I'm fine, totally fine. I'm as healthy as a horse of many colors. Now, why are you disturbing me?
I'm here for a brain. A worm ate mine.
Silence. Who's next? Step forward.
I need a heart. I'm told they're standard equipment.
We're fresh out of those. Next.
I'm just here for some courage. Any amount.
Give me a break, Mike.
I'm here for what we all want. Proof of life or any sign of brain activity.
I already provided that. If you really want me to emerge in public, bring me the Epstein files.
Enough with the Epstein files.
Now go. Scott Jennings is on hold, and I promised him a 20-minute substitute call.
Uh-oh, Toto.
What the? Pay no attention to the men behind the curtain. Those are just my emotional support Republicans. Good boys.
Miss McConnell dead in the back.
See? I just spoke with him. Sharp as ever.
And with that, we'll go over to Miss Andrea's funny that she wanted you guys to see about. So Miss McConnell is alive. I don't know how well, but he is alive. Now, this funny is from the past. It's a blast from the past. But you know what? She wanted to share this with you guys. Go ahead.
All for TikTok.
Sometimes discipline their kids different. A lot of y'all agree with me, but sitting next to them and you don't want to say nothing. So I'm cool with that part too. I just think it's a difference sometimes. I was in the mall one day and this white lady stopped me. I was in a department store. My wife had sent me in there to buy something. And I was in the department store and a white lady came up to, real nice lady. She said, "Oh goodness, it is you, isn't it?" And you know, that even threw me right there. Isn't it? When last time you said isn't? Ain't is my word. I ain't said isn't ever in my life. I don't even know how to spell it. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't know where the N go, the apostrophe, none of that. I just ain't never spelled isn't. What for? It's you, isn't it? And so I just said, yeah, I guess it is. Ain't I? She said, "Oh my goodness, if my son were to see you, oh, he would just to die for." Yeah, that's another phrase they use that throws me. What you mean to die for? Well, why you gonna bring him out here then? Leave that boy where he at. She said, "Would you mind signing an autograph for my son?" That's one thing I never do. I never turn down children for pictures and autographs, and I never turn down the elderly. Because I just think old people made the way possible for me, and kids, you just ought not kill a kid's dream about you. So I do that every time, whether I want to or not. Now, y'all in the middle, hey, whatever. You know, get past it. Steve tripping, whatever. So I said, you know, I didn't want to, but I said, yeah, I'll do it. So she said, I said, "Where is he at?" She says, "If you could come this way, he's in the mall." And you know, I don't really want to do all this now, lady. You ought to have him right here. But I said, cool. So I go out there. I said, "Where he at?" She said, "There he is right there." This little crazy looking little boy. You know how they had their hair in a mohawk? He had about 5 spikes in his head, and all of them was a different color. This boy had tattoos all over him, had earrings in his nose and stuff. I looked at her, I said, "How old is he?" "He's 15. See right there? Right there? 15? You can't do none of that at my house. I got 2 23-year-old daughters, a 20-year-old boy, a 14 boy, and an 8 boy. You ain't coming in my house with a tattoo nowhere. Cause you know why? You ain't chipping in on the rent or nothing else. You can put the tattoo on, but you don't stay here no more. Now come home with the tattoo." I put my foot so far. Okay. Satan almost had me right there. I was in pretty deep on that one. Felt good too. After reading it, I was about to just. So I looked at her. I said, "Well, okay, ma'am, if you can call him." She said, Bobby, would you come here for a moment?" That boy turned around. This is no lie. "Hey, bite me, Mom." Now I'm standing there. She said, "Hold on." Oh, I'm gonna hold on because I gotta see the rest of this. She said, "But Bobby, look who's here." I said, "Bite me, Mom." So when he said it the second time, you know, I went and got behind something. Because I know something fitting to jump off. Because if I'd have ever told my mama to bite me, oh, Lord, all hell would have broke loose in that mall. It would have been Armageddon in that mall. My mama would have came through there on a 3-headed horse with some 6s on her head. She'd have killed everybody.
Just bow, bow.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sitting there and I'm looking at little Bobby. Now in the meantime, black lady standing there with her little boy watching the whole thing. Ooh, she was through. You know how y'all are. Ooh.
Let me get it fit.
Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus, keep me. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Her little boy was standing there, wasn't doing nothing. She looked at that little boy, she said, "Did you hear that right there? You bet not ever in your black life tell me to bite you. I'll bite your back off. Y'all bite you. Don't you run from me. Don't you. You feel big now?"
Poor baby getting in trouble for something somebody else did.
I done did it before. I done had it happen. just in case.
Think black people.
It's
That's
a different world. Some
hilarious.
people could use some discipline. We'll just say
And
whatever
with
it
that
is.
said,
Let
absolutely.
me have to say. I said something to my mom when I was 19. When I came to, I was mad, but like they said, when she leave, I'll be talking. And when she come back, I'll shut up again.
Well, we always want to leave you guys with an inspiration. We ran over, but thank you for sticking with us. And you can always go back, like, and subscribe. I hope today we gave you a balance of current events. We gave you what's going on in travel. And also, we made you smile. With that said, life is made up of only 3 days. Yesterday, and Mo, if you could see it, go ahead and take yesterday. Andrea will take today. And Anitra, you got tomorrow.
Okay, yesterday, a day that is gone, and can never be brought back.
Today, a precious opportunity to learn, grow, and make a difference.
Tomorrow, a day that is not promised and remains unknown.
But keep in mind and know this. So
Let me continue.
don't find. Yeah, go ahead.
She said yes.
Okay, sorry. So don't live in regret over yesterday and don't waste today worrying about tomorrow. Make the most of this moment because today is the only day truly in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we say thank you for joining us. This is your host, August. We have Anitra, Miss Andrea, and Mo. We're sending you much love. Make sure you tune in to us on Saturday. We got a nice Saturday sip for you. Miss Anitra will be in and out because she got a barbecue, but she'll come sit down and take a spell with us as well. Please, we will be here at 3 p.m. But before I go, I have to do a shout out to Mr. Mike and to all our August babies. If your birthday was yesterday, happy belated birthday. If your birthday is today, like Mike's, hey, Mikey, happy birthday. And if your birthday is coming up, we'll see you soon. Make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned to more of us on Our Voices. Say good night, everyone.